Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me.
Dude, you're getting a Dell.
Huh?
Ow! Ow! Well, not my first rodeo with brain damage. Yes, finally I make another video for absolutely no one to see. So, on my 18th birthday, my dad got me a laptop.
Give me a beer, son! Oh, you motherfucker!
Specifically this Dell Latitude 5490. Here's the specs of this dingus. Now, I was supposed to do this video a bit ago, but unfortunately I'm unmotivated as fuck, and lay down all day listening to Canada 7 songs.
I'm immortal, I'll get tired of living, but in permanent death, I will be black forever, and I get tired of that.
And this time I have used the laptop a lot off camera, so I felt like I really couldn't make this video. But I got an idea. But first, let me show you some of the original footage I recorded. First, when you get a secondhand computer, you clean that bitch. You never know what kind of liquids were spilled on this thing and what websites the last owner was on when he did it. Now when it's you doing that, then you'll know.
First, we clean the swamp gooch. Now, I don't think you're supposed to use Clorox wipes on a laptop, but guess what? I don't have anything special, so we're doing this. Well, I do have something special. It's called my brain. Welcome to Autism. There we go. The years of some businessman jerking off is finally being cleaned.
I just wanna be alright. I don't wanna kill myself. I just wanna fix my health. Fucking hate this loneliness. Never felt.
Next, you open it, and then you censor where you bought it from. And next, you wipe the gooch-covered keyboard. There we go. As clean as I'm ever gonna fucking get it, because I don't have patience for this shit.
Next, I decided to run some benchmark shit while it was still on the copy of Windows 11 the guys on the store first put it on, which was Windows 11 25H2, which will show this laptop at its absolute worst. Alright, sorry for the guerrilla-style video recording we're doing for this initial bit, but we can't screen record just yet. First, let's demo the speakers on this thing. The speakers are underneath right here, and right here. My phone's microphone's not that good, so honestly, it might sound worse than it actually does in real life. Alright, the speakers are already at 100, so let's see how this sounds. We're gonna play one of my favorite songs. So far, not that bad. Alright, how's this? Okay. Okay, this is not faring too bad. Vocals will come in a moment. We'll see how it does with that. At least to my ears, this doesn't sound that bad. To my phone's microphone, it probably does. Alright, that's enough measure. Next I'll be measuring my penis.
What are you doing?
I'm measuring my dick.
No, you are not!
Alright, next, let's do some CPU benchmarking. Alright, first is single core. You gotta be fucking with me.
So there was a long time where it was just paused, and apparently I hit something. But no, it's still been rendering this entire time, it was just not showing it. Holy shit! It's done! Finally! What's the points? I'll put the points on screen. Oh wow, I can't even start the single core test. It's actually just having issues doing it, so looks like I don't have to do it. Alright, next is the Time Spy demo from 3D Mark. Let's see how this Intel UHD 620 can do. Wow, it's running like a slideshow. Who would have guessed? You know, most benchmark videos I see running this actually don't have the audio playing, so it's weird to actually hear it for once. Look, you could just see this GPU struggling. I guess I could have combined the speaker test with this test, honestly. Run, bitch! I can't even see what's happening, run! Stop looking at cool shit! This is gonna be a nightmare to import to my computer. Please hurry up! Yo! New Canadian 7 music! 426. Dear God. Testing's over. I don't want to do any more of this bullshit. That's it. Editor FL, bring me to the next part.
Okay, now we get to the new shit. Recently, I have fully made the switch to Linux on my main PC. And instead of making it easy on myself and using something like Linux Mint, I decided to go only a step above Linux from scratch and use Gentoo. If you don't know what Gentoo is, it's one of those hard-to-install distros, aka hard for those who haven't passed first grade English and can't fucking read. Gentoo is as hard to install as Arch, which is to say, not hard at all. Hell, I find Gentoo's install handbook easier to read than Arch's because it's laid out nicer. Gentoo is not hard to install, it's just time-consuming as hell as it's built on the idea of compile from source. What is compiling from source? Well, all applications are made of code, whether that be assembly, C, C++, Rust. Man, fuck you! Name a language, it compiles one way or another. Or, in the case of assembly, specifically, assembling. Compiling is the process of taking, for example, C and turning it into machine code, which can be seen as assembly. This is because CPUs don't actually understand C or any high-level language.
Excuse me, what the actual fuck are you doing in my house?
The only language it knows is binary and assembly. The reason it even knows assembly is because assembly basically maps one-to-one with binary opcodes. Now, for many computer users, their operating system's already pre-compiled. Like Windows, pretty much every Linux distro that isn't LFS or Gentoo macOS, BSD, you name it, it's most likely pre-compiled, meaning those who make the OS have compiled the system for you.
Here, hold this.
And same goes for applications. Pretty much any application the average computer user will interact with has already been pre-compiled for their convenience. On Gentoo, the system isn't pre-compiled. You have to compile the system yourself. Now, unlike LFS, this is much easier thanks to the package manager Gentoo has, known as Portage, which handles all the complex stuff for you. So all you have to do is specify what use flags you want for the program, then use the command merge to install what you need, and Portage will handle the compile. What is the benefit for this? Well, Gentoo users will probably tell you the benefits are more control over your system, performance gains, but in reality it's just bragging rights. Or, in my case, it pleases my system to know that my system is as optimized as it could be, meaning if something still runs like shit, it's because my system is shit. So, how does one set up Gentoo? Well, this video isn't a guide, because quite frankly, I'm the last person you would want to learn Linux from. But I will show you how I did it. First, I will compile the system on my main computer to try and make the compiling a little faster, since on my desktop I have a Ryzen 7 5700G. Well, let's hope I don't have another bottleneck that will make this probably slower than if I compiled on the system itself. Well, first I use cfdisk to set up an EFI partition for booting, and a Linux partition for, well, Linux. What else would it be for, huh? Fucking IBM Top View? Next is to format EFI with FAT32 and Linux with the ext4. For any actual Linux nerd watching, don't ask why I wasn't in sudo su for this, and was just using sudo on every command instead, and constantly forgetting to do that. Next I mount the partitions. Then I use Lynx, which is a text-based web browser, to download Gentoo's stage 3 file. Stage 3 is basically the user space of Gentoo, which to quickly explain, user space, it's the part of the operating system that you actually see and interact with, and sits on top of the kernel. Without a user space, the Linux kernel is just a really fancy paperweight. After extracting, I make some changes with Portage. First is make.conf, where all of the default stuff Portage will take into account when compiling packages is set at. I set the March flag, which tells the compiler to compile to my specific microarchitecture, which for my laptop is Skylake, since Coffee Lake is just Skylake refresh. Long story short, this makes things even more optimized because the program isn't compiled to just generic x86, and can actually utilize the CPU's specific way of handling the pipeline. Or something. Listen, I don't fully understand computers despite using them since I was like 6. I just keep googling stuff, and it keeps working. And in the age of AI, I ask clankers tech questions, and sometimes it works. Hey, Grok, what options do I need to enable my Linux kernel to get my GPU working? I am Adolf Hitler! Rust flags, I do the same CPU target thingy. This will basically just apply it to whenever it's compiling Rust code. Use flags, I just kinda add some random shit. And makeops is how I specify how many cores can be used, which, since I'm on my main PC doing this little initial bit, I will make it -J16, which will make it use all 8 cores and 16 threads. But on the laptop, it will be switched to J8. Also, just so I don't have to run the mirror command, I'll add them directly from my main system's make.conf. Next, the Gentoo site, where I've been reading the handbook from cocks up, so I had to use the Wayback Machine in the meantime. Next, I copy over resolve.conf, which gives me internet access for when I c-root in. C-rooting is basically me turning the extracted user space into my current user space within the terminal, so technically I have another Gentoo inside my Gentoo with no VM funny business. Yo bro, I heard you like Gentoo, so I put Gentoo in your Gentoo. Next we get Portage up to date, which took a while. Huh. You know, I wonder what could be the reason why it's taking this long. Well, let's hope I don't have another bottleneck that will make this probably slower than if I compiled on the system itself. Next, I am just copying over all my other Portage settings for packages. Package.license because some things require having certain things written in, or else Portage won't let you download it. Next, stuff for Portage.use. This is how I set certain features to be compiled into a program. Like for example, if I didn't add RAR to 7-zip, then I wouldn't be able to open RAR files. And last is package.accept_keywords. This is how I can unmask packages. Usually packages with newer versions, packages that are considered unmaintained, or whatever else the reason is that it's masked. Next I run a system update with a merge, adding use equals, quote, -GPM, quote, because something was complaining about it. This basically just disables GPM temporarily, just for this command. And you know what, this was actually pretty quick, only a minute. Totally wasn't actually 9 hours! 9 fucking hours! What? Well, 9 hours and a goon sesh later. Next I set my time zone. Next, X11 crashes, so my recording gets corrupted and I forget what I was even doing. Next is just a bunch of random important shit and the kernel sources. And this took an hour. Next, I set a bunch of kernel options that I later had to redo anyway because my fucking trackpad didn't work. And the rest of this shit, I don't know, because I am tired of writing this script. After all that, I download gparted live onto another USB so I can move the partitions over from the drive we prepared Gentoo on to the internal drive of the laptop. All this next stuff is off camera because I couldn't actually record the laptop screen. So to give you a little rundown, I copy over Gentoo, then reflash that gparted live ISO to be the Gentoo ISO so I can remount and make the final changes, compile the kernel, and restart. Then compile the kernel more because of that trackpad issue I told you about. Anyway, I've used the laptop for a few days, figuring things out, and getting more shit compiled to show off. So, I guess this is it. let's finally switch over to that Dell.
Alright, Dell time. Sorry if the footage is shaky, I'm recording with my phone, and apparently Graphene OS removes my ability to use image stabilization. Whoops. I mean, there's probably a separate camera app I can install that would add it back, but whatever. Now, as you can see, I installed LXDE as my desktop. Why? When it's outdated, basically? Hell, the Gen 2 version isn't even as up-to-date as the one in Debian, which Debian actually still has that as an option in its graphical installer. Well, I like LXDE, even though it's got some quirks about it that I have some issues with it. Yes, I know, LXQT exists. And from what I know, that one can run on Wayland. But, I still like how LXDE specifically looks. And yes, I also know of XFCE. And yes, since this is LXDE, this is X11, I could already hear Wayland users complaining. So yeah, let me show you some of the quirks.
First quirk, unlike KDE, which would give you a little brightness slider, LXDE doesn't have that. For now, my solution to this is literally just running a command in the terminal to set the brightness. Yes, I know there's probably third-party software that could, automate this for me, or I could write a script to actually attach it to the brightness buttons, but, next quirk, which is something I had to try and figure out. And by that I mean, I asked another clanker. Now, if I shut the laptop, it should go to sleep. And if I open it up, it comes back. It does have to quickly reconnect Wi-Fi and all that, and my headphones get disconnected, but yeah, it has to, reinitialize everything network and Bluetooth related. Let me show you what happens before I found that fixed for sleep mode. So if we shut down the computer, so the computer turns back on, and if we press E to edit the grub configuration, you'll see some options down here. Alright, now we press Control X to boot. And now the computer will come back onto the desktop. But watch this. Now if I close the lid, wait, open it back up, you'll notice the desktop doesn't come back, and Caps Lock is not really having a good time. So yeah, sleep mode is broken if I don't have that. Oh yeah, there is one more quirk of Gen 2 being on here with LXDE. Switching power modes. See, there is no GUI option here to do that, so my option, again, is the terminal. So if we go over to the Start menu, go to System Tools, LX Terminal, and if I do Power, Profiles, CTL, I get all the options here. Right here we have Power Saver, which, yeah, now I think about it, no wonder why OBS was complaining about encoder overload. So to select it, I just do Power, Profiles, CTL, Set, Performance. And now all cores will not be stuck at 800 megahertz. Now I do have a battery indicator, which is down here. This is actually a part of LXDE. Unfortunately, I always find that its time left is completely random. Right now it says 2 hours and 6 minutes, but when I first had this, it was like constantly jumping around.
Pockets.
But he was
I got this.
if he wanted you out of there.
So let's actually do applications first before I actually go over to games, unlike my Windows 8 video where I did games first, then applications at the end. Well, first, web browsing. I used LibreWolf, which is just a privacy-focused version of Firefox. So, let's go to YouTube. I cleared my search history. Okay, what I search is a mystery because I cleared my search history. Now, I do have an add-on here called Enhanced H.264ify, which, if you don't know what this add-on does, it forces YouTube to load H.264 videos. From what I know, YouTube uses VP9 by default, which, while this laptop loads kind of just fine and can play just fine, I rather the little extra performance. Let's look up a 4K video test. Not that we're actually going to be able to play it back in 4K, because I think H.264 videos only do up to 1080p. And I'm right, only up to 1080p. But this screen's also only 1080p, so there's really no benefit to watching any higher. Okay, look, unfortunately I'm going to have to go back to guerrilla-style video recording for this one. So yes, all those frame drops were from me trying to run OBS at the same time as this video. Now you might be, oh, don't you have a capture card? You used that in the Windows 8 video during the setup. Why didn't you use that? Because it's broken under Linux. Audio doesn't stream right off the capture card, so I actually have to pretty much use OBS on the device itself. Hopefully this won't be an issue when we're doing games and stuff. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. No drop frames. Absolutely none. Well, that was disappointing. Hopefully OBS won't be an issue going further. Well, I guess next, what about video editing? I have edited this entire video on this laptop so far. I haven't used my desktop once for this. Well, aside from obviously recording the segments that were on the desktop, but, you know, I didn't edit them on there. Well, I can tell you before I even open it, it doesn't run that well. Here is the whole video timeline so far. Damn, this was a lot of work. You know, I think it should say something with, like, when scrubbing the timeline. Watch this, if I just leave it here. You see how long it took for it to... Do you see that? That should already really tell you that this is not the greatest editing experience, and to even show that further, this is what happens when I try to play the intro of the video in the editor itself. Notice how the audio went out? And also how that was running at like 2 frames per every time you find a proper job in today's economy? Yeah, it just don't run well. This little section runs slightly better.
Happy birthday.
Let's play back a section like this one. And instead of making it easy on myself and using something like Linux Mint, I decided to go only a step above Linux from scratch. Editing this video kinda sucked ass. What I'd do is I'd let it load, so, you know, it loaded in this little part. Then I would play for about a few seconds. I'll basically just pause and unpause to try and, you know, buffer it in and try to play it somewhat smooth. Okay, hard for those who haven't passed first grade English and can't fucking read. Oh, and in sections where it's time-lapsed, especially this one at the beginning. No, not there. So especially this section, since this video is actually in 4K, that I sped up by 250%. Here's the specs of it. That's how it played. Literally, that's how it just looks. So yeah, not the best editing experience, and I can already tell you rendering is shit, because I actually would render out test renders just so I could watch the video in full speed. But yeah, that's video editing. This sucked, and I still have the rest of this video to make, so it's gonna suck even more. Now what about some Windows programs? You know, is there any Windows programs I run? Not really. I have the Windows version of 7-zip here because sometimes Linux is just not handling archives correctly, so I have to rely on good old Windows. Next I have InfraView here, which I just use to convert images to like lower color depths and to like BMP, just so I can put them on like Windows 95 and such. I don't actually really use this as my actual photo viewer, I just use what LXDE includes. So for example, my desktop wallpaper here, if I wanted to convert this for Windows 95, first, I would use a different program to crop it because InfraView kind of sucks with that. But I would do this. I would go here, decrease color depth, 256, use Floyd Steinberg dithering, and use best color quality, just let that down convert. See, it doesn't even look that bad, actually. This mostly still resembles the actual image. Then, you know, I go here, save, and then BMP. Where's BMP at? There you are. Yeah, save that, then, you know, I could throw it on Windows 95. For a task manager, I just use HTOP. So, look at this. Yeah, don't you feel like a hacker now? Now, I did go through the hell that was compiling LibreOffice, but as I shown in the video, I literally used emulated Windows 3 on a 8088 to write the script for this video. Well, actually, NEC V30. And of course, we have Steam, which, I mean, it runs a bit slow, but I mean, that doesn't matter once I'm in a game. And yeah, that's about it. Don't really run that many applications on here. So, yeah, I guess we can move on to games now. Okay, so if you don't know what Super Tux Kart is, it's basically just a Mario Kart clone. Mario Kart clone with open source mascots. I already know the quality is going to be really, really terrible on this because I have to use ultra fast preset on OBS. Well, we had to play as Penguin Man himself. Oh, God. Looks like someone made this for the N64. Oh, look, it's Conky. It's the KDE mascot. Fuck you. Aw. I don't like KDE. Oh, look! A pipe bomb! Screw you, Conky! Come here, Conky! Oh, I passed it right at the last moment. Stay away from me, Conky. Hey.
Nice throw!
Skid Row? Oh no. Oh no, we made it to California.
What kind of place is this?
Cupcake! I threw that backwards. That literally just put me into the bonked version of myself. Alright, maybe 19 AI racers was not a good idea. Am I finishing last? Okay, no, I'm at 14. Now, you may already know about Pixel Gun 3D for anyone who's ever played that game, which is pretty much everyone with a tablet back in, like, 2014 or whenever. Now, Pixel Gun World was an actual project by the team behind Pixel Gun 3D. It was basically the original PC port of the game, but for some reason they just canceled it, and then years later the actual Pixel Gun 3D came to PC on Steam. Alright, I just had to stock loadout, and I've only played this actually once, just for testing, so let's play now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What? Oh! Oh, my PlayStation controller's still connected, that's why. Oh, goddammit, give me a minute. I already got shot. Die. Give me a kill. Yay, a kill assist. Congratulations, I get a participation trophy. Holy shit. Alright, sniper time. Whoa.
Nope. Nope.
Oh my god.
Nope.
I'm always this shit as a sniper in any video game. Doesn't matter what game it is. Alright, I might have to play another round of this, because this is not what I was expecting.
Nope.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ. If I was Lee Harvey Oswald, I would have hit JFK. Oh my god. It's literally in front of my face. Yep, I was the worst on my team. 1 kill. Got you. God fuck. Get off of your damn tree.
I'm playing online, trolling these people so hard!
Cargo ship. Can I play a match of that? Yes, I can! I remember this back in the day. Grenade! British simulator! British simulator! Oh. Oh!
Clip is so going in my Taj.
Oh. How did I do that? Stop Britishing me!
Runneth thy pockets. I think not, you scallywag.
Oh, I actually did get him with that grenade, though, apparently. Fuck you. You know what this reminds me? I need to play at some point, but I still can't find, like, an archived version of it. Avatar Minor Paintball for the Xbox 360.
Nice J-tag.
I went to the Nexus and got a mod menu. I have no clip. Fly hack.
Also, if you remember in the menu, it said something about Steam VR support. I swear to God if I could actually play this game in VR.
Yo, Jack, do you think you...
6 seconds left. Alright, let that be the last kill of the game. Yes! I didn't do too bad. Alright, I think this is enough Pixel Gun, though, so...
Butters, you said you're on your computer all the time.
Yeah, but I'm playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Ah yes, the autism is flowing through me like beer through your deadbeat dad's system as he pulls out the belt and gets a speed boost to whip your ass. Find and deliver lost luggage. I don't remember the last time I played this game. Ooh, pineapple. Did you know that pineapples have flesh-eating enzymes on them? It's why it stings a bit when you eat a pineapple. Now, does this mean if you put a pineapple in your ass, you could have a pineapple in your ass? Ooh, Playboy magazine. Yo, me. Is there something else I can do? Jesus. The laziest egg. That just sounds like me. Who's in here again? Is it this Melody? Yep, this is Melody.
Fucking
Oh, we could rebuild the zip lines? Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm actually gonna find something to do. Yo, okay, we have shit to do. Let's go. Oh, gotta talk to Choco Cat again. Yo, Choco Cat, need you, yo, bitch ass, help. Among goofy ass crafting table. Do I just click? Yes. See, my biggest problem in this game is you don't really get to talk to them. It's just only, like, little bits of dialogue from whenever we're doing this thingy. Just got to see them fucking spawn in. I want these glowberries. Gimme. Cool, that was my one thing to do today. Yo, Kuromi! God damn it. See, again, what was I saying? You fuck can't do shit in this game. Oh wait, hold on, there's a good Atama. I guess I'll end it off on this. I'll end this section off this. Hang on. Hold on, can I do an emote? Can I? Yes, let's look like an idiot. I can already look like an idiot in real life, thank you very much.
Stop saying dumbass things! You're not even making sense!
So, we'll be playing Klonoa 2, you will play Klonoa 2, this is a threat! Go buy Fantasy Reverie series on fucking Steam right now, buy a copy for all your friends too, you will fund the development of another Klonoa game. Alright, I may have gotten a little too silly. So yes, we're gonna be testing emulators now, because, I mean, it's a shitty laptop. Can it emulate? I don't know. Here we go. Collect them gems. Fuck you. Let me get up there. I wanna grab more gems. You come back. Oh fuck, there's another. There was a little bit of a frame dip there. I noticed that one. Oh yeah, there's this thing. I forgot about this. I'm sorry, the noise Klonoa makes when they hit this, just... Does this remind you of anything? Yo, it's a dog! That's a weird looking dog. But a dog. Dog with the butt. Oh, that's a big boy. He definitely ate his veggies. Now while I'm here, I'm going to talk a bit about how I even found Klonoa. I actually found out about the game right before the Fantasy Reverie series dropped. I know some Klonoa fans were probably waiting years for it goddamn remasters. But yeah, I found out about it because of Scott DeWaz.
Scott here, and by God, do I require immediate cock and ball torture?
I remember seeing in his videos some of the background footage he would have would be of Klonoa. I ended up reverse image searching and I found the game, and then I played it from there. The first game has a really nice look to it. Even the Fantasy Reverie series, like, yeah, it's a fine way to play it, don't get me wrong, but I honestly recommend if you're gonna play the first Klonoa, play the PS1 version. Either if you could somehow find a disc for a good price, or you just played in an emulator. Come here, rat. It's the dog. It's a monkey.
Monkey.
My ears have been blessed.
Oh, it's the back! Oh, I fucked up! Oh,
I'm in trouble!
We're in trouble! It's all gone wrong! It's all gone Okay.
Yes, I'm going from 0 to 100 and trying PS3 emulation on this bitch. Now, Trash Panic is a much simpler game, so hopefully it won't be too hard. But at the end of the day, the PS3 is the PS3.
If anybody could resurrect Christ, it would be the PS3.
Okay, a reminder. The US Air Force...
If the Army says hoo-ah, and the Navy says hoo-yah, and the Marines say oorah, what does the Air Force say?
We're gay.
The US Air Force took about like 300 of these bitches, connected them together, and made a supercomputer out of it. On the same system you use to play Little Big Planet bomb survival levels, that same hardware was probably used to drop a warhead on someone's forehead. Yeah. This is not running too well. Alright, hold on, I want to try some real quick. I highly doubt resolution's gonna make it any better, but let's try. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, the game logic runs a lot slower, too. Smash! Smash! How do I rotate? There we go. Fuck you. It's like a flask or some shit. Yoink. I mean, if you didn't care about frame rate and the game's logic being completely shit, I mean, I guess you can say you could play a PS3 game. I'm glad I didn't test Little Big Planet like I was initially planning.
Ow, got the pain! Oh, my arsehole! My arsehole has gone through my eye hole! I'm seeing
your eye hole.
Yo, anyone getting married? I'm not. Yo, hold on, the woman came back. What the fuck is this? Weird Japanese doll thingy. Fire. The very, like, JPEG'd blue. I think that's literally supposed to... Jesus Christ, stab me with the balls! Pretty sure those are supposed to be, like, constantly running effects. They don't quite work. Oh yeah, if I remember correctly, you put the lid down. Yeah, if you had, like, fire and shit. If you had fire and shit, you could do that to, like, keep the fire going. Stapler! Oh, there's a bunch of... That's a lot of chairs. Is that chairs? No, those books. Battery! Whatever this thing is, I can't see. The game looks like a goddamn potato. Not as much of a potato... Uh-oh. The game had to recompile all the shaders, so you know something big's happening. If you're wondering if this runs any better with OBS off, I did pause the recording for a bit, and I can confirm, no it does not. If I remember correctly... Uh-oh. No! Oh, it did count, whatever fell. Eh! Smack the pig on its ass! Big bolt thing. Yo! I think that's cracked enough. I don't think it's gonna count. Yep, it's not gonna count. Fish! 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 The weird teapot thing. No! Oh, there's a guy back there. No! Okay, that's gonna be... Wait, no, that's broken. That's broken enough. I think that's broken enough. Alright, it was broken enough. If something's broken and it falls out of your trash, it does not matter. It's if it's still intact. French fries! No! No, tumble out! Sponge! SpongeBob! French fries! Oh, don't tell me they're gonna count. The individual fries are gonna count. Let me guess. Nope. Just the container. Just the container matters. Uh-oh. They could fall out the back, too. This game accounts for the back. God damn it, I dropped the ball. A hamburger! I like how the music doesn't last. Damn. That sucks. I wish I could drop the sign in the trash can. Well, that's the end of this video. As you can see, very riveting. If you're going to install Gentoo, don't install it on a laptop. Please don't. Even if you have a good laptop, I still wouldn't suggest it. There are even people installing Gentoo on even worse computers. And I just gotta say, why? For fuck's sake, you can install Gentoo on a 486. Linux only recently dropped 486 support. If you use a kernel from before then, yeah, you can install it on a 486. I don't know why you want to, but you can. Anyway, that's it for this video. Did you like it? And I'll see you all later. Goodbye. My god, I hope when I make my next video, it isn't around 40 minutes again, like this video and the last video.